Okay, so welcome back to another video. Today was Clanfield Cross, Wessex League Round 10, and yeah, it was a very good course. Not the best conditions. It is my home course, but it was quite dry, or at least drier than normal. It was still a little bit slippery, but not muddy enough that the bikes were clogging up or anything.
Well done, Sam.
I had quite a good start, got into third. Cypher and Leon on the front.
Go on, Sam. Go on, Jack.
Yeah, I love these descents. I was quite good at them because I've practiced them so many times. And these descents like this, I had to go very hard because I'm a lot smaller and lighter than Leon and Cypher, so I struggle on the power sections. And here, got back onto Leon's wheel and then made a pretty stupid mistake and got back on the bike before the top because it was working in training, but in the race it just wasn't
Well done, boys.
the best thing to do, and got dropped by Leon. Yeah, I would have got dropped anyway, just maybe a few seconds later. And these off-camera sections had really good ruts, and I was making up a decent amount of time on them because I've ridden them so much. And here starts the long climb back up the hill. Jack's on my wheel, or kind of on my wheel, and Alaric is just behind. He's like so powerful, but then I was gapping him on some of the technical sections, so we were quite even all round, like including all the sections. But then these corners were still like a little bit slippery, but not. It was just mainly bumpy, which was why I had quite low pressure. I had 17 psi. It's not that low for me, but. And still climbing all the way back up to a long off-canvas section, which was one of my favourite bit of the course. You can just see it here. So now Alaric's caught up. And then, as you go down, there's a nice 2 left-hand off-cambers. One of them has a rut, the other one doesn't. But I had quite a good line, and I was making up a lot of time. Just kind of scooting around them. And then here, Jack dropped me. I messed up on the run-up.
Well done, Jack.
As he overtook me. Well, he was starting to overtake me on the run-up. I looked at him to see like if he was going to overtake me, and then I slipped because you have to look where you're placing your feet because it's so steep. If you don't get your foot in a foothold, then you're just going to fall. And I slipped, so he got a gap.
Well done, Sam. Don't let them catch you.
And then here, Alaric and Tom are just chasing after me. There was a long power section, and I'm not the best at that. And we get onto the nice descent again. And this, I learned my lesson. Second lap, I just shouldered it and ran the whole thing. Just copied Leon, and it was definitely faster. Should have just done it every lap. But they're the things you just have to kind of evolve in the race and learn what to do and what not to do, even if you haven't done it in practice. And yeah, again, putting a little gap into
Well done, Tom.
Alaric on the technical sections, but then he'll close it immediately when it gets to the power. But I had the wrong tyres. I only have Limases in at this time of year because it's pretty much always muddy. But yeah, I had some big mud tyres on. Don't think I was losing that much time, but I definitely could have done with a smaller tread because it wasn't clogging up and it wasn't that slippery. Yeah, and then here, Alaric closes the gap. Like even here, I'm getting a little gap on the corners, but then immediately he'll just come straight back. Like. And he came past me, dropped me, but I knew he was...
Go on, Sam, looking good.
I think he was running some of these off-camera sections, so I knew I could... Oh no, he did ride them. But then I caught up a decent amount. That was where the mud tyres were helping, but I think in the long run on the whole lap, they weren't really the best choice, but I didn't have a choice, doesn't really matter. And here, I overtook him on the off-camber and then hopped the hurdles. Got a decent gap on him, And then this is where it all went a bit wrong. You can see just after this corner I kind of put my head to the side and I just felt so sick, like out of nowhere. It must have been about 10 seconds I went from feeling fine to throwing up. So if you don't like, if you're scared of sick or whatever, then skip about a minute because you might feel a bit sick yourself. And there you can just see I'm all over the bike. I was just throwing up on that descent. I don't know what it was. I didn't eat anything different. I didn't do anything differently. But suddenly I just had no energy. It felt like I was riding through like the thickest mud ever, and I just wasn't getting anywhere. And you can see Alaric easily closing the gap. He's barely even pedalling, and I'm just not going anywhere. And then he comes past. I'm still throwing up, but yeah, not the nicest. And I could barely even get up this hill. I just had absolutely nothing in me. And Alaric's gone by this point. He's only about 10 seconds into me. And then Tom Allen's also closing the gap. I just completely had nothing.
Oh, darling.
Sorry.
Take a breather.
He's overtaken me. Now I've gone from third to fifth. I'm like, alright. I wanted to quit a lot, but I didn't. Yeah, it was pretty horrible. I was just trying to not throw up on myself, so with the corner I was throwing up, I just have to try and lean to the side. And the rollers, these did not help with my sickness. That was horrible going over them. I just had to get on with it. I like these corners though. I wasn't very good at them when I was throwing up, but first lap I closed a decent, maybe like 3 or 4 second gap on Leon on them. And you can see Nick, Monty and Cypher are all catching up. And I had at least like 30-40 seconds on them before I threw up. So they're all gonna overtake me, about to come past. Yeah, they are. There's Cypher and Monty. No, Nick and Monty. And then, yeah. This is when I started to feel a bit better. I stopped throwing up. I was like, alright, now I just get on with it.
You can catch them, Sam.
Okay, threw my glasses off. They were annoying me. And then Cypher comes past. And then as soon as he came past, I just felt like I had new legs.
Of course.
And then still got dropped by him, but I felt better. And on this off camber, I overtook Cypher, Monty and Nick because they were running most of it, because I rode this section, closed the gap, and then it cuts off, but I rode the uphill off camber after. You can see I'm just about to, and they were all running it, so I've got a decent gap. So you can see them behind me, and then Nick's here. Hop the hurdles, overtake, put in a decent gap, not that big.
Go, Sam.
And then, yeah, up this awful hill. It was so steep. Yeah. And then here he overtook me again on the power section, but then I got in front for the descent and gapped him. This on the last lap now, and I just feel normal again. So now I'm making my way back up in 5th right now, chasing down Tom Allen, who you can just see here in the red. And it was so weird. I went from throwing up to feeling completely fine in about 30 seconds. Never felt like it before. But yeah, running all the way up the hill again because I learnt my lesson. And now I'm just desperately trying to close the gap to Tom before the end of the lap. Yeah, I really like these off-camber sections. They were quite slippy, but still nice and rideable. I do wish it was a little bit muddier though. And I'm just giving everything to try and close the gap before some of the long straights because that's where I suffer a little bit. And
Well
then
done,
if I
Tom.
could just get on the wheel, then I'd be alright. But I
Go on, Sam, you
didn't.
can
But
get
I
him.
got on a
Well
bit.
done.
Took me longer than I thought it would, but managed to get back and overtake. And you can see he's looking back. I was like, alright, I gotta
Come
get
on,
him.
boy.
And I was desperate for that 4th place. I'm not sure. My laps were fast enough to, excluding the 3rd lap that I threw up, it was fast enough for 3rd. And probably not too far off 2nd, but couldn't control it. Yeah, I'm closing down Tom. And now I've overtaken him. I rode the off camber again and then sprinted up the run up. And yeah, you can see him just behind. And I hopped the hurdles.
Well done,
Actually,
Sam.
he hopped the hurdles as well, but got even more of a gap there. And then this was just the last bit
Keep it up, Sam.
up this awful hill. You can see it doesn't look like much of a gap, but because we're going so slow on that hill, it's bigger than it looks. I think it was about 5 seconds. And I managed to just about hold on. Yeah, look, now it's extending. Just hold on to the finish. Maybe, well, if I didn't throw up, then I wouldn't have needed another lap, but with another lap, I maybe
Well
could
done,
have
my boy.
got up a bit more. Probably not, but maybe. And then, yeah, crossed the line for 4th. So I went from 3rd back to 9th to 4th. So, yeah, I'm very happy with how it went.
That was.
Shame that I messed up for myself, or my stomach messed up for me, but yeah, very happy. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Yes.